Welcome back to another episode of Marcel Hyde Mindset. Click that like button, subscribe to the channel, and most importantly, if you're finding any type of value that I produce from these videos on a weekly basis, make sure that you guys are not just watching it, but you're also sharing it to a friend, a family member, just someone that needs to hear this message, this inspiration, this leadership, this self-help. And I want to start off by saying a lot of people watch the show and they're not subscribed to the channel. So immediately stop what you're doing and subscribe to the channel, okay? When you subscribe to the channel, that helps me. I'm not looking for anything else from you guys but to subscribe to the channel. And tell all your friends and family members to subscribe to the channel as well too. As you know, when you're subscribed, the more subscribers you have, the more people that come to your page, the more people that get to see your content, okay? So you guys are doing a disservice to other people that potentially could benefit from my content by not sharing my content, all right? So it's very simple. It's not complex. Share this content, all right? So I want to start off by talking about, when things are uncertain in your life, that's not a time for you to stress and worry, because a lot of times people go through certain circumstances and situations in life and you're not exempt from them. Nobody is. Things might be going well for you and then all of a sudden, boom, something comes up that you never expected would happen. So the first point I want to make is expect the unexpected in life. You never know what ball life is going to throw at you. And when I say ball, I'm referring to baseball. When you're throwing a pitch, either the pitch can come directly at you, and when it comes directly at you, maybe that's a little bit easier to hit that ball. Or maybe the pitch is thrown is curved, and that curved pitch throws you completely off, and you don't even know how to hit the ball. So my thing is, life's going to throw you a bunch of pitches that are going to be different. Some are going to be straight on, some are going to be curved, some are going to be up in the air, some are going to be too low. My thing is, what are you going to do about that? What are you going to do about that? When life throws you a pitch that maybe might not be the greatest, what do you do about it? Do you panic? Do you fall into a deep depression? Do you give up on yourself? Do you overindulge in food? Do you, start crying, right? So my thing is, don't let life's challenges and things that are hard in life take you out of the game, take you out of life, make you stop moving forward and progressing and figuring out what the next step is. Because a lot of times life is going to throw you curveballs, life is going to throw you challenges and adversities, and your job is just to go through that. Your job is to understand that this is a part of life. Challenges are a part of life. Curveballs are a part of life. Losses are a part of life. Failures are a part of life. Missed opportunities are a part of life. And it's not about what you're going through necessarily. It's more so, how do you respond to what you're going through? Because a lot of times people are going through different things, and one person responds to what they're going through a lot different than somebody else, right? What somebody goes through, one person might completely break down, and one person might go through something else, and then that might completely lift something up in that person. That might spark something new in that person. That might create a new chapter for that individual. So everybody looks at challenges and deal with challenges a lot different. But my suggestion is, when you go through a challenge, when you go through a hard time, it's to take the approach that this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity in so many different ways. You can look at a situation, and a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, let's say you had a job loss. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm not getting money now, or I just lost my job, and it's so hard to find jobs in this economy, at this market. But my thing is, you just lost your job. Maybe you should start looking at what other opportunities are out there. You know what I mean? So maybe that job loss forces you now to look for better opportunities, look for other things that are going to challenge you, right? Or maybe that could start a new career path for you, or maybe that could spark something like, maybe I should go back to school, right? So there's so much opportunity in the chaos. There's so much opportunity in the uncertainty. And it's your perspective, and it's how you look at it. You could be in a situation, two people can be in the same situation and look at it from two different lenses or two different ways. One person can see the situation as a blessing in disguise, and the other person can see the situation as the worst thing that has ever happened. So if you're looking at the situation in a way that it's the worst thing that's ever happened, it might destroy you. It might just take you out. So you can't look at the situation in that way. You can't look at the situation in the negative, because if you're just dwelling on the negative, that's actually not going to help you discover what the new opportunity is. That's not going to bring you the clarity that you need during that certain times when you're going through those challenges or struggles, because you need that clarity when you're going through a challenge, when you're going through a struggle. Everybody's looking for clarity, like, why am I going through this right now? What is this situation telling me? Because every time you go through a challenge or a struggle or adversity, for me, it's God. God's telling me something. He's telling me, now's the time to do this, or now's the time to discover that, or now's the time to search this. So if you have that, spiritual side, tap into that and figure out what that message is from your higher power or your God, because God is trying to tell you something. There's always a message that's wanting to be delivered to you. So don't miss that message because you're so stuck thinking in the negative. You're so stuck in the gutter that all you think about is that situation and how bad it is, instead of like being like, what is this situation trying to teach me? What is this situation trying to tell me? Look at challenges in life, look at struggles, look at adversity as a gift. You have to change your mindset. And that's why I love mindset, because mindset is everything. To me, it's the foundation of everything in every situation, whether you're an athlete, whether you're a business owner, whether you're an employee, whether you're in a relationship. It's your mindset, right? It all stems from your mindset and everything. So that's why I fell in love with the mindset. And once you fall in love with the mindset and understanding mindset, I'm telling you, your life's going to be different, because you could be in a situation, you never imagine yourself in the situation, but you have such a strong mindset that the situation doesn't even affect you. You don't start using drugs, you don't start drinking, you don't start, falling into depression or having anxiety. It's just like, and people from the outside are like, how are they not breaking? Right? It's just like your mindset. It's the mindset you have. You have the mindset that eventually this too shall pass, as it says in the Bible. Right? That the situation that you're in is temporary. It's a short-term situation. You're telling yourself that this situation is allowing me to grow. This situation is allowing me to see the bigger picture. This situation is actually pivoting me in a new direction. So you got to embrace that type of mindset, develop it, cultivate it, and work on it daily, right? People are always asking, like, how do you develop this mindset? I'm just like, I'm still developing it, right? It's a daily practice that you do, is developing your mind and strengthening your mind. Just like you go to the gym and work out and lift weights to get a stronger body, to be in shape, you got to be lifting that mental weight as well too, so your mind becomes stronger, okay? And how do you do that? That could come from books, that could come from talking to mentors, that could come from studying, that could come from the scripture, developing your mindset. There's so many different ways to develop a stronger mindset. The best ways to go through life situations, experience is the best one. Like you could develop a stronger mindset after going through certain situations and things in life. You start realizing certain things. You start realizing that life is not always going to go your way, right? I wish it did. I'm sure everybody on here wishes that life always went their way, but that's not the reality. So accepting the fact that life is not always going to go in the way that you want it to go, accept that, and making the most of the life you have, the cards that you've been dealt, and always trying to strive to be a better person, to evolve, to treat people better is the ultimate goal, right? It's not how much money you filled your bank account up with. No, it's like, that's money comes and goes, but it's your character, your integrity, your honesty, your loyalty. The person that you become is the biggest gift. It's not the money. The biggest gift is the person that you become in this life. That resilient person, that honest person, that hardworking person, that lovable person, that joyful person, that positive person, that optimistic person, that caring person. That means more than $1, because there's people that have money and they don't have any of that. And I'd rather be, if you're an honest and genuine person, you'd rather be around someone who's honest, loyal, genuine, kind, caring, positive, than a person that is shallow, ignorant, rude, and has money in their pocket. I bet you. All right. So work on those skills, develop those skills, enjoy your life journey. The challenges will come. Accept it. I had a video on acceptance, so if you missed that one, tune back into that one. Watch that video on acceptance, and continue to learn and grow. Educate yourself. Pick up a book. All right? I find books are a very effective way to help you with your vocabulary, your communication skills. And it's actually, I challenge you to find a friend group, maybe one other person or 2 other people, and start a book club. Start a mini book club where you guys read books that you both are interested in the topic and you discuss the book. That's going to help you so many different ways in your memory, your communication, vocabulary. So, you leave school and then you don't have to do that anymore. And then people just don't do it, right? They're just like, oh, I don't have to do this anymore, so I stop. But it's just like, there's actually a benefit to doing that. And that's going to help you in your career, whether you're in a job, whether you're in a business. That's going to help you elevate and advance, all right? So don't forget that. Thank you guys for tuning in. Much love, much respect and appreciation for everybody that follows me, comments, shares my videos. And to the ones that don't, I bet you I'll catch you in the future, watching some of my videos. So if not, this is for myself to develop and grow and just document my own journey and the things that are in my head. Interesting, because we have so many thoughts in our head, but we never express them. But expressing them and hearing what you're thinking is amazing, because then that allows me to adjust myself in a way where I'm studying myself now, so I can make minor adjustments in my life. Those minor adjustments really affect where you end up in your life, all right? Don't forget that, all right? We're in more control than we think. There's a lot of things that are out of our control, but we do have control of certain things in our life, and we want to be controlling those things, all right? If you haven't figured out what that is, maybe comment below and I'll make a video on that one. All right? Peace and love for now. Marcel, Hyde, Mindset.